Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Josh with Rainier Creations Co. Just making another video while I'm driving. I'm actually headed to Lowe's right now, getting some supplies. I'm in the process of building a shop on my property right now, just to keep all the costs like at my house as much as humanly possible. I just think that's a lot easier to manage, especially when I'm, as I've said in previous videos, I'm working full time, and so it gets hard if I'm working full time. Then I have to go somewhere else to run my business, so I want to keep it all at my house as much as humanly possible. So I had to get some wood and stuff. I'm re-roofing the old shop that was there, re-roofing it, adding a new frame, blah blah blah, right? It's not big, but it's better than what it was. So anyways, so I thought I'd really just talk about, I'm launching a new product. I'm venturing into the canvas print world, and I've done a couple so far, and they've turned out awesome. I think the hardest part about them really is making the frame for them, because if you buy a frame, you can buy it wholesale somewhere, and it equals out to be about $3 or $4 a frame if you do that. But every place I've found so far is they charge $50, $60 for shipping, and that obviously adds to the cost of a frame and so on. Or I could just build the frame myself, right? And so I'm trying that right now, trying to see if building the frame is the way to go, or if that's just too time consuming with everything else I have going on. And I might find that it is. But right now, I'm really only going to be selling sizes from like 5" by 7" to 18" by 24 at max, strictly because of the frames. If I'm going to be making my own frames, I would just rather buy a bunch of wood, get it all cut to size, even get the frames like pre-made, just to make my life a little bit easier, my spare time doing that. Just because, again, I can't imagine having to make custom frames for anything larger than that right now. Can I make canvas prints larger than that? 100%. I can make canvas prints up to 60 inches, by however wide you want. So, that's no problem whatsoever. It's just, again, it's all about cost and time, right? And I don't know that I have the time to do that. My job keeps me away from my house as is, all day, sometimes till 7, 8 o'clock at night, sometimes over the weekend, and so it's just hard to find that time and that balance between running my business, working full time, and trying to get these newer products out to everybody. It's just not easy. So anyways, the canvas prints are great. I do offer them in two ways, or I'm going to be offering them in two ways. Let me put it that way. I offer them framed, i.e. stretch bars, or no framing. You'll get it actually shipped, just rolled up, and you can put it on your own frame, in your own custom frame, whatever you want. And it'll also save you a few bucks, to be quite honest. My goal is to keep the cost of the print with the frame about $5 cheaper, or $5 more expensive, than it would be if you just got the print without it being framed. So I'm trying to work that out. And of course, with different sizes come different thicknesses of the frames. I'm trying to keep all the framing, or stretch bars, or whatever you want to call them, at 3/4 inch thick. So I'm kind of toying around with that right now and how I want to do that. So it's not that it's hard, it's not that it's easy. I'm not a woodworker, I have the tools, but I'm not a woodworker. It's just more that it's time consuming, and I'm not really sure what to do. So if any of you have a suggestion, or if you know a great place to get some stretch bars at a good price, right? Like, I'm not going to pay $16.99 for one set of stretch bars for one print, and then try to pass that off on the customer, right? That just makes it so much more expensive than it even needs to be. So if any of you have a good website or something, please leave a comment below. Let me know. I'd love to check it out. Furthermore, if any of you are woodworkers and you do build frames, I'd be interested in talking to you about it, because I found out that the framing for a canvas is a lot different than framing just a regular picture, right? Like, you gotta kind of bevel the wood a little bit to angle it in behind the canvas, so that way you don't see really the outline of the wood frame behind the canvas, right? So like, there's a little bit of technique there. I have a few tools. I have an electric planer, I have a table saw. I have things I can use to do that. But nonetheless, there's still a little bit of a learning curve there, and with learning curve comes money, comes time, and additional resources needed to make the frames, So, for example, I just ordered a 4-set of corner clamps or 90-degree clamps, whatever you want to call it, in order to glue the frames together before I, and nail them together, and so that they stay even, the pressure's even on them, and they stay in place, right? And so, that's just another cost incurred to offer this product to people. But I do offer the product in 2 different types of inks. So I have Eco Solvent, which is awesome, super vibrant, super durable. You're not going to be disappointed. And I use HP Latex ink on HP Latex certified printer. So it's quality no matter what. And I found out that you can do a couple different things when it comes to these canvas prints, as far as if you need to apply a varnish or not, right? Majority of modern canvas prints, unless you're an artist, and this is my understanding, so I'm sure someone will correct me, but majority of them come kind of laminated, if you will. You don't laminate them, but they kind of have a varnish built into them. I still plan on adding a varnish to all the canvases. I think it just gives it a much better look, right? And it also helps just protect it that much more from scratches, dust, or any kind of debris that could get into the canvas material. So that's still what I plan on doing. But I am using good stuff. I have a Roland BN20A. That's a small printer, but I have that, as you've seen in other videos. And if you haven't, I'll link a video up here that talks about it. I do that, but the problem again with the Roland BN20A is it can only print 18.5 inches wide by however tall you want the item, right? So it's great for panorama, it's good for individual portraits, but if you want wider than that, then obviously I gotta upgrade the material, and I gotta use the HP Latex 365 to make it, which again, no problem whatsoever, more than capable of doing it, and doing a great job of it. So, the only downside to the Eco Solvent versus the latex is the Eco Solvent, when it comes out, it's wet still, so it has to dry and it has to off gas. So I can still get an order out relatively quickly. My goal is to have every order out within 48 hours. So it's very doable. It's just a matter of having all of my ducks in a row to make those orders happen, right? I got to be prepared. I got to have those frames ready to go. I got to have all the staples necessary, the varnish, ready to go. And so on, right? So it's just a process. Again, not a big deal. It's just, if I don't manage my time well, then I'll fall behind for sure. So anyways, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in getting a canvas print, I'd love to help you guys out. I just got some software. I forget the name on the top of my head. I'll try to add it in a different video that allows me to take a standard photo that you have, and typically when you're trying to blow a photo up past the resolution that it's at, it gets real pixelated. You can turn it into an SVG, and that helps a little. It doesn't always help. So I got this software that allows me to take your pixelated photo and turn it back into high def again. So family portraits, things like that, that's too easy to do a canvas print on. Prices, I'm working that out right now. I think an 11-inch by 14-inch canvas print is probably going to be around $25 to $30 depending. That could change. I have a calculator. I still got to finish running all my products through that, or the sizes through that, to get the actual size, so that way I can give you guys the best product and best price possible. I'm not cutting any corners here. I'm barely making any profit on the stuff, because I'm trying to pass the savings along to you, along with making it a quality product. So anyways, I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. I'll leave a couple links in the description. You can check me out, obviously, here on YouTube. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Rainier Creations Co. TikTok, Rainier Creations Co. So check me out on there. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave me some feedback. I appreciate it. Thanks.